So, what do you think about what Coach Edwards was just saying about you guys being a high-flying offense? But
I wasn't listening.
Oh, no.
I was zoned out. Sorry. Sorry. What was he? I don't know what he was saying. So.
He was basically saying that you guys are a high-flying offense, but you might not get to 20 points, and that might worry you a little bit last game. It might happen again at San Diego State this week.
Each game you're going to have a situation. No game plan is perfect. They got scholarship guys. They're going to make some plays too. So it's just all about adapting to each situation the correct way. There'll be games where we throw 30 up the first half. What are we going to do in the second half? We're going to get complacent. You know what I mean? So we just got to continue to just take it play by play, rep by rep, and just always forward.
Wilkins was talking yesterday about the challenges of routes being different for every guy a little bit.
Yeah.
And I know in that game there were some issues with maybe guys not running the right depth in the routes or sitting down in zones or whatever. What is that like when you just know who's running this route and you know that they're a little different than somebody else and all the intricacies of that?
Yeah, well, obviously it's my job to throw the football to the right location to where these guys are going to be at. And those were they were minimal communication errors, but they could have turned into huge mistakes if, a cornerback busts a coverage, but I think I think the receiver's going to do something and the cornerback falls off and I throw a go ball, then it's like the dude's just catching a pop fly, easy out. So it's just, we got to be on the same page, and today we really repped, communication stuff. And we've been good at it all camp long, all these first couple weeks. We've been really good at it. So I just think emotions might have been a little bit high. Guys' adrenaline might have been rushing a little bit. I missed a couple throws. Throws that I don't normally miss. So it's just, we just gotta keep the main thing. Stay solid, and we'll be okay.
Kind of following up on that, is it tough when you know that they're going to have a safety over Nikhil and other side everybody's a man, and weighing the decisions of that pre-snap?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be the first to tell you I want to throw Nikhil the ball every single time. Like, that's a guy that needs to get the ball in his hands as much as you possibly can. And I mean, when the touchdown that I threw to him, I'm sure everybody in this room knew that the second this guy went press and there's no safety over the top, everybody in the stadium knows we're going to Nikhil. And that's just because we rep it so much, and that's what we're good at. So, but when they're going to bracket him and things like that, this is just, that was like Kyle. Kyle stepped up and had a huge game, man. He did some really good things. And, Nikhil has said it, and I've heard him talk about it throughout early on, and all this media stuff is, when somebody's going to bracket him, somebody else is going to have an opportunity to get off and do something special. So, it's just all about guys stepping up when their number's called and making plays.
What do you remember most about San Diego State last year and the challenges?
Just super disciplined. The scheme that they run obviously is the scheme that we run, but you just see the comfortability with those guys and how fluid they do everything, the way they stem coverages. I think 33 on that side is a hell of a ball player. One of those guys that you just want a guy like that on your team. Flies around, he's in every single play, he's causing havoc, wreaking havoc, whatever. I think their front seven is really, really good. They're decent. I think that we're going to do our best to get in some situations where it's going to be one-on-one and our guy's going to have to beat their guy.
Does it help playing the same scheme, though, because of what Manny Gonzalez?
Yeah, sure. I've had the chance to sit down with Coach Gonzalez and really pick his brain heavily this week on, what to see from them, what, little things to pick up on, what is the safety looking at in this, certain formation, those type of things. So he's been a real good resource to use and utilize in this situation. It's a very unique situation. Not often do you get a coach that comes to a team that's going to play his team next year or his old team next year. So I'm excited for Coach Gonzalez to be back in San Diego. It's kind of like a homecoming or whatever for him. So, what we do is what they do. So it's just about making plays.
One of the most notable aspects of practice and game prep so far has been your guys' way to not go into the bubble and just use the elements to your advantage. How have you seen that shape the mentality of the team in this camp and season compared to in years prior when you might be in there more often?
Yeah, so Coach Likens' phrase is DBS. That means don't be soft. So when it's 102 degrees outside and everybody's is hot, or when it's starting to trickle outside and rain starting to come down, I think we want to stay outside because we need to practice those conditions. We need to practice those things because it could happen in a game. I think Coach Edwards it really is just a mentality of when you go inside, you shouldn't feel like you should practice harder because you're inside. You need to continue to practice hard whether you're outside or inside. And I mean, fatigue and just being conditioned, that's a huge part of it. So staying outside, man, I think it's been really beneficial. Coach Edwards takes care of us. We're not out there for 3.5 hours, 2.5 hours practicing. It's hour 45, 2 hours, and we're out of there. So we get our job done and get out of there.
How rewarding was it that halftime adjustment to go to 10 personnel and have it really work, especially in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you make adjustments at halftime and they'll work, it makes the world difference. So Coach Likens did a great job of just staying poised in the situation. Told him I'll do anything he asked me to do. I told him what I saw on the field, what I felt like we could do. Our receivers told them what they felt like was happening coverage-wise for them. We made some adjustments, and obviously it paid off there at the end.
Do you feel like everybody's handling success you've got? Do you get that feeling that people are moving in the right direction with that, handling that the right way, not?
Yeah, I do. We had a case Tuesday where lately I've been holding the offense back, and we've been running about 4 or 5 half-gassers just to get some extra conditioning in, just to separate ourselves just a little bit from everybody else. And Tuesday I found myself like, man, I don't know if I really want to run today. And, I saw a couple guys kind of dragging around, and it hit me. It was like, if you want to be great, what it took to get to what we've done, and we're nowhere close to where we want to be, but we've had a little bit of success, and now we can't get complacent, and we can't say, hey man, we're a little sore, we had a big game last week, we're good, we played hard. Nah, we're not doing that. We're going to continue to do what we did because it's what got us to where we are, and on top of that, now we need to start doing more. You know what I'm saying?
You think being a senior and having the sense of urgency also contributes to that mindset?
Yeah, I mean, these guys will tell you, I haven't been nice to these guys when we cross those white lines. Like, Frank, I yell at these guys. I want these guys to be great. It's because I've invested too much into this program. I've invested too much time. Guys that are on that field that have been here for 4 years, they've invested too much time for, somebody that it's their first year, for them to feel sorry about their body being hurt or for them to miss an assignment. I'm not with that. So if you're going to miss an assignment and you're going to do that continuously, after one, it's like, okay, I understand. But if you do it 2, 3, 4 times, dog, you're not trusted. You're not dependable. You can't be on the field because I don't feel comfortable having you on the field at the time. So it's just about finding those guys, those core group of guys that is going to do everything the way the coach asked them to do and do it the right way.
Preparing for San Diego State last year, and then reading the field pre-snap, how did that compare to an average preparation or what you were seeing before? Were they tougher, easier in your?
Last year, preparing for him was, I kind of got stuck a couple of times in the game. I don't know, I'm not afraid to admit that just because it was so different, but going against it so much in the spring and in fall camp, preparing for it now, I understand it. And that's not saying like, I'm a guru, I know all that, but I'm comfortable with it. I've seen it every day for a while. But they do a really good job of running the defense the way it needs to be ran. They put you in situations where, like I said, they're just telling you beat our guy. So that's what we're gonna have to do.
It's a tougher prep for a quarterback who has not gone up against.
Yeah, that's why they wreak so much havoc year in, year out. They're always the team that I think beat Stanford last year. They beat us last year. Every year they have at least one Power 5 team that, a lot of people don't feel they're going to beat San Diego State. But now San Diego State is one of those teams where you know that when you're going to go play San Diego State, you're going to get a game, so you better bring your, you know what I'm saying? You got to bring it. I was going to cuss, sorry.
Anyone have one more question for Manny?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.